Hello, join qndtravels as we do a ship tour from Royal Caribbean's Explorer of the Seas. The Explorer of the Seas is the second of 5 ships in the Voyager class series and was launched in 2000. It holds 3,284 passengers at double occupancy, and during the year it sails from the Western Caribbeans, Eastern Caribbeans, Southern Caribbeans, Eastern Mediterranean, and Western Mediterranean. We took this cruise out of Miami, Florida. And up on deck 5, as you can see, the Promenade is a beautiful space. The sculptures, and you can see where you look down on the Promenade. I'm walking up the stairs. And you can see the Sapphire dining room. And I'm over at guest service. As you can see, we entered on the 4th floor and took the spiral stairway up to the 5th floor, which holds the promenade. The decor, the spiral stairwell, and the decorations really stand out. Next, we'll be going over the different decks and activities in which you can enjoy while on this cruise. If you find this information helpful, please hit the like, subscribe, and notification button so you will stay updated on the information as we release it. Thank you. Deck 3 is also composed of cabinets in which you can go through, but to get out of deck 3, you will have to go back up to deck 4, walk over, go back down the other set of stairs or elevators to get down to the aft section of deck 3. Most of the activity on the boat starts on deck 3. Forward of deck 3, you will have the lower level of the palace. This is the showroom that they have the activities and headliner shows. On deck 4, you have the upper level of the palace, which is the upper area of the theater. As you go towards the aft, you have the schooner bar, Giovanni's table. The schooner bar is where normal activities goes on, such as trivia. They had a piano player called Perry who was doing a very good job during the day. And he also had a mainlining event in the theater. Giovanni table is one of the specialty restaurants, basically the Italian restaurant, and the food there is great. Going down the hallway between the two, inside the schooner bar, you come to the Casino Royale, which is the casino for all Royal Caribbean ships. The casino consists of numerous slot machines, a bar, and a number of tables in which they have stuff like Texas Hold'em, blackjack, roulette, and craps. Continuing aft through the casino, on deck 4, to the right, you have the tavern, which is another bar and activity center, social gathering place. And on the left, you have the art gallery. The art gallery is one of the places where Royal Caribbean on each of the ship sells a different amount of artwork, and it is available for you for purchase or to look at during the cruise. Between the tavern and the art gallery, you will also see the station for the ship Wi-Fi service called Boom. As you can see, the stairwell on the Royal Caribbean is very expensive and lovely. But going back down from the 4th floor, we are in the aft section of the ship, and you come down, and this is where you will see the photo gallery. Also, this is where Studio B is located. Studio B is the place where they do the ice skating shows, and during the cruise you can also get a chance to ice skate if you choose. Once you get out of the ship, you will see the dining room, which is on 4, 3, and 5. Back up aft on deck 5. Again, this is the entrance to the Sapphire dining room, which is when going forward from the Sapphire dining room. We will start on the left hand side of the ship, which is called the starboard side. As you go down, you run into this little bar called the R bar. It's another social place for people to gather, have drinks, and just spend time with each other. Then you come to the Royal Promenade, which is, good morning, one of the first ships, class of ships in Royal Caribbean, in which they have a promenade. And as you go down the promenade, you have the shops, the merchant ports, where you can get different items in which you could purchase on the ship while you are here. And once you pass the shopping portions of the promenade, still on the starboard side, you run into the Crown and Kettle. You also have Cafe Promenade. As well as you go, they have some place to buy ice cream, and also you can get some pizza and other items during the day. And as you get forward on deck 5, you have the Star Lounge. This is where they do a number of activities, trivia, shows, and they did a couple of tributes to different artists and veterans. There's a little stairway down to the casino from the 5th floor, but as you can see, the promenade is very nicely laid out. And on the 6th, 7th, and 8th, you can also get rooms that look into the promenade. On the port side of deck 5 is where you will find guest services and shore excursions. Next, we'll be headed up to deck 6, which where you will find next cruise. Is where you could book your next adventure with Royal Caribbean. Once up on deck 7, you will have the library. Again, we're still towards the aft section of the ship. The library is a little small. They don't put much attention into the library because libraries are not the gathering places that they used to be. But once you're out of the library, on deck 7, the rest of the area is made up of cabins and suites. But this is a nice little gathering place. If you want to come to the library, grab a book during your cruise, or just sit back, play some card games with friends. On deck 8, you can find Royal Caribbean Online. Royal Caribbean Online can act as a business center or area in which you need to use a computer, and you could just sign in, be able to use the area, do some printing or some small items as you go along during the cruise. After that, majority of deck 8 is composed of suites and cabins. I particularly like the view of the Royal Promenade from deck 8. Once you're aft on deck 9, between the port and starboard side, you will run into the concierge lounge. And once you're out of the concierge lounge, again, majority of deck 9 is composed of suites and cabins. Deck 10 is basically suites and cabins. It is also where the Royal Suite is located at. But the view from deck 10 is spectacular if you want to look at the artwork that they have hanging up above the Promenade. Chop Grill is another one of the specialty restaurants of Royal Caribbean line, and the food has always been great at the times I have gone. Right outside the Chop Grill, you will find the Arctic Zone, which is a soft serve ice cream in which you can get ice cream cone during the day. On deck 11, you will find the Vitality Bar and Fitness Center. As you walk into it, you will notice that it has a hot tub that most people do not know about. But it is open for... This is the solarium. On deck 14, you will find Dizzy's, a jazz venue on the Explorer of the Seas. It has an amazing panoramic view of the pool, and at night it is used as a dance venue. Going up the staircase, you will find the Starlight Chapel. The chapel is open for activities, and they do perform occasional weddings here. Aft of the ship, you will find the activities for mini golf, which is a nice little place to go and play. Also, you will find the flow rider, which is a nice little area. You also have the 2 water slides that are there if you want to use the water slides. And a little forward of that, you will find the sports courts where you can play different games and activities, and also the rock climbing wall. One of the unique features of this ship is that they have a peekaboo lounge where you can actually look down and see how the crew and captain are in the command center. We are not allowed to take any pictures inside of there, so I will not take any. I hope this information has been helpful, and look forward to helping you with your next adventure so you can travel, relax, and be rejuvenated.